Okay, so to start your night head, you want to make 3 guidelines. We're going to put one at the very top for the top of the feather. We're going to put one a little bit down, not quite the middle, that would be about the middle, so a little bit further up than the middle, and then one for the bottom of the helmet. So on your Chromebook, you'll want to search for Farmington Nighthead and then pull that up so you can also look at that as you're drawing. So the first step that you want to do when you're drawing is draw the curve of the helmet. So make sure that this curve looks like a C when you're drawing it and not like an O. So you don't want it really tall, you want it to be nice and round. So if you turn it over on its side, it should look like a C. Remember that your lines should be sketchy lines, so kind of just loose lines, and I like to call them hairy lines, and I can fix them really easy as I'm drawing. So once you have that done, then we're going to draw the feather. You can pause this video as you're drawing, so that way you can kind of work with me as you're working. So just pause the video if you need more time. So the next step is the curve of that feather, and it kind of comes up, has a straight line, and then curves all the way over. And then if you look at the picture, the feather stops about the middle of the helmet, so we're going to draw it that way. So you want to come all the way down about mid of the helmet there, and then there's the top of the feather. Next part, I'm going to do a straight line and then curve, and look at the picture real quick. So the picture, it's thick here and then it gets thinner as it comes down, so that's why we're going to draw it. So thick and then starts to get thinner and then comes down here. Okay. The next step, we're going to draw the curve of the helmet. So if you look at the picture, it kind of has the shoulder here area, and then it comes down kind of to a chest plate. So you're going to draw a line that kind of comes up and then comes down. Make sure when you're drawing your lines are not too dark, so that way you can erase things and change things. Next step, this line is not a straight line, it's a little diagonal, and then part of the helmet, it kind of looks like a foot. So it's a straight line, and then it kind of comes up, and then if you look at the picture, it's pretty thick, and then that thickness stays the same throughout the helmet. So and if you look at the picture, the chest plate is lower than the shoulder area. Okay, so the next step, we're going to draw this curved line right here, and if you look, and it is curved. Okay. So, and that's about the middle of the helmet where that curve is. So we're going to curve it up. Make sure you have that curve. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to take this line, I'm going to go a little bit of a diagonal and then curve all the way down to the chest plate. And you want to look at your picture and you want to make sure that you still have that space, that chest plate down there. Okay, from here, we're going to start working on our designs here. So we're going to go straight down. Actually, that's more of a curve now that I'm looking at it. So make that curve in a little bit. You want to go over, and if you look at the picture, it's smaller here and then it gets wider at the top. So we're gonna go smaller and then get wider. So it's wider and smaller. Next one is wider at the top and then it gets thinner at the bottom. So draw it like that. Wide and then thin. I'm gonna go ahead and erase this line because it'll be in our way. Okay, and the next line is smaller and then gets wider as it gets higher up here. So it's gonna get wider up. And then go out and then all the way down to the bottom of the helmet there. Okay, so the next part we're gonna do is this line that curves around the helmet and then down. But before we do that, I want to curve this line here. So right now it's just kind of straight, but we want to make it look like a neck. So we're going to make this kind of curve out like a neck. Okay. And then now we'll do that. And I want my edges to all be about the same size as I'm going around. So if I went in too much, like right here, that's too close and that's not the same as over here. So I'll have to fix that. So you want to watch that as you're drawing. Okay. All right. So now we have the knight head drawn. Now we need to erase some of our lines. So we need to erase this line. We need to erase this line, this line, and this line. And now you have a knight head.